coolest school. I would argue they're the coolest school in the conference now. Like, Denver's a fun place. Like, they're kind of a
Boulder.
Boulder. I mean, like, but I'm saying you're not far from Denver and Boulder. Like, there's a way.
Boulder might be more fun than Denver, honestly.
Yeah, but like, we've seen like the share of the national title, the Cordell Stewarts of the world, the Chris Browns in the early 2000s. Like, we've seen the best of the best with Colorado football. Like, they have won national titles, share of national titles. Like, they could get right back there. It depends on really how long Deion is going to be at Colorado. But like, how do you even come to grips with any kind of normal expectations as a Buffs fan right now? Because you're going to go from one of maybe the worst Power 5 team last year to a team that has bowl expectations, crazy schedule. You're recruiting your ass off. You're killing it in the portal. You might have the best like DB in college football in a year in Travis Hunter if he develops under Deion, like, who was the #1 overall player in
Cormani McClain too.
Yeah, Cormani, like, there's just, I don't even know what to think if you're a Colorado fan, because you're like, am I going to be upset if we go like 6-6 with the talent? Am I going to be upset if year 2 of Deion we're only 8-4, 9-3? Like, how do you even like parse through that as a Colorado fan? It's just got to be jarring over a 2 to 3 year time span.
Well, I mean, I don't think but you don't have like unrealistic expectations or anything, right? Like, so I think anything that happens is good, right? Like, you just went 1-11. So yeah, if you go to a bowl game next year, like in this kind of stacked Pac-12, like I'd be a little surprised if they made a bowl game, honestly, just because they were so bad last year. And obviously this team is going to be unrecognizable, but like, that's kind of difficult to build an entire football team, brand new team in 1 year. We've literally never seen that happen. So like we have no idea what to expect. It's pretty unprecedented what Deion is doing with Colorado right now. But like, I mean, who in the world could be unsatisfied with 8-9 wins in year 1 or year 2?
I'm not saying unsatisfied. I'm just saying how jarring it's going to be. So like, you were just used to, you're like, okay, maybe this is what we are with McIntyre, with Carl Durrell, where you're like, man, maybe we're just kind of not who, maybe the days of the 90s are long gone and we can't get back. Like, maybe that was it. We're just not going to ever get there. To now being like, actually, Deion's going to put you in the blue chip ratio in the next 2 to 3 years, and you actually will have enough talent to make the college football playoff maybe next year. Like, that is a possibility now. Like, it's just got to be so weird as a Colorado fan.
It's a greater than 0% possibility, but I feel like how possible is that even to do? You know what it kind of feels like is the Ole Miss, the Robert Kimdichie class of Ole Miss, that it was kind of like you had to do everything, get Laramie Tunsil, Laquan Treadwell, do just everything to get this ridiculous class, and you kind of like, okay, we got 3 years to like win something. And they did go to a New Year's Six Bowl one of those years, but like once that was over, granted there was a bunch of scandal and Hugh Freeze was gone, so it's hard to know like what that was going to turn into. But it kind of felt like as soon as that Kimdichie and Tunsil class was gone, Ole Miss was kind of back to where they were supposed to be in the SEC West. So with Deion, it's not a recruiting class, but it kind of could be. And if he signs a great class next year, he's got a 2-3 year window of making Colorado better. And if they win 8 games year 2, I mean, is Deion not like the hottest coach in college football, that he just took a 1-win team to 8 wins in like 2 seasons? Like, and it's just the energy, just the personality, everything, that the aura that is Deion Sanders, that you just know teams are going to, big time programs, just they had to see it done. You know, they had to see it for themselves. They couldn't take the leap of faith and and get the guy from the HBCU. But if he proves it, like shows any sort of sign at Colorado, he's going to take the next biggest job. Like, I mean, it's not like any criticism to Deion or anything. It's just that's the name of the game. Like, this whole 60 Minutes interview with him, like he's talking all about the city of Jackson and what he's doing for these kids, his program. But the guy asks him straight up, like, would you go for another job? And he's just like, I mean, I'd be lying to you if I said I wouldn't consider another job. Like, Deion's just that guy that's just going to tell the truth. So you wouldn't be surprised if they do anything positive that he's somewhere else in like 3 years.
I mean, I've said forever that I think he is the successor to Nick Saban at Bama. So if he
Oh.
thinks, I just think he's the successor there.
That's bold right there. I think Glenn Schumann is the successor
It's
to
not
Nick
sexy
Saban.
enough. No, you got to go big. And
I don't know. If they win if Georgia wins a couple more national championships with Schumann being like the Kirby's number 2, like, I mean, who else would you rather have than the guy that's learned from Kirby at this point? And he went to Alabama. He is an Alabama guy, Glenn Schumann.
yeah, but that doesn't necessarily matter. Nick Saban, obviously, a West Virginia, Kent State guy. It's not
That's
like
true.
the two actual.
Hey, if you
best-
want to get your Kirby, it matters.
it's just funny because like so many teams are so obsessed with that, and I'm like, who are the best 2 SEC coaches of all time? Urban Meyer, Nick Saban, both.
Steve Spurrier and Kirby Smart. So there you go.
I mean, they're
No.
in there though. They're in.
They're, hey, Kirby could be up there when it's all said and done. But
Yeah.
but you also seen guys. But I think it is a great sales pitch. If you can pull it off, it's incredible to have. Like, you have Harbaugh at Michigan. It's like,